Shapes here, and today we will do a comparison between Natasha and Luocha. There have been a few instances of people who have been saying that Luocha is nothing special because essentially Natasha does the same thing. So let's break down these statements one by one and find out whether they are true or not. Natasha's skill is Love, Heal and Choose. It restores a single ally for 9.8% of Natasha's max HP plus 248. It also restores the ally for another 6.7% of Natasha's max HP plus 170 at the beginning of each turn for 2 turns. Luocha's skill is Prayer of Abyss Flower. After using his skill, Luocha immediately restores the target ally's HP equal to 56% of Luocha's attack plus 710, and at the same time Luocha gains 1 stack of Abyss Flower. When an ally's HP percentage drops to 50% or lower, an effect equivalent to Luocha's skill will immediately be triggered and applied to this ally for 1 time without consuming skill points. This effect can be triggered again after 2 turns. These are the stats of Luocha and Natasha at level 70, Ascension 6. I have taken level 70 and talent level 8 into consideration since for supports, a lot of people will be keeping their traces at level 8 for their skills and ultimates. Luocha's base attack is 705 and his skill heals for 56% of attack plus 710, which comes out to around 1104 skill heals. Natasha's skill is Love, Heal and Choose. It restores a single ally for 9.8% of Natasha's max HP plus 248. It also restores the ally for another 6.7% of Natasha's max HP plus 170 at the beginning of each turn for 2 turns. A big thing to note here is the scaling of Luocha. The plus 710 is really huge because even though he is attack scaling, he can still keep up with Natasha's skill. Also, his skill heals in one go unlike Natasha who heals over a period of 3 turns. The first being the initial cast and then the first turn the ally takes, and finally the second turn the ally takes. Next we are going to talk about Natasha's fail-safe healing on her ultimate. Natasha's ultimate is Gift of Rebirth, and at talent level 8 it heals all allies for 12.9% of her max HP plus 326. Luocha's ultimate is Death Wish and it removes 1 buff from all enemies and deals imaginary damage equal to 180% of Luocha's attack to all enemies. Luocha also gains 1 stack of Abyss Flower and the total base damage comes to around 1269 per enemy. Even though Luocha's ultimate has no fail-safe heals, this can be compensated through his talent and traces. Luocha's talent is Cycle of Life. At level 8, when the Abyss Flower reaches 2 stacks, Luocha consumes all stacks of Abyss Flower to deploy a field against the enemy. When any enemy in the field is attacked by an ally, the attacking ally's HP is immediately restored by an amount equal to 16.8% of Luocha's attack plus 213. The field's effect lasts for 2 turns. When Luocha is knocked down, the field will be dispelled. This comes to around 331 heal for the on-field character. Next, we will look at Luocha's Trace Sanctified. When any enemy in the field is attacked by an ally, all allies except the attacker restore HP equal to 7% of Luocha's attack plus 93. This comes to around 142 passive heals for the off-field characters. In 1 turn, a character can heal a total of 758 if he attacks an enemy. This comes to a total of 3032 if all of the characters attack in their respective turns. The field also lasts for 2 turns, essentially doubling this amount. Natasha's failsafe is a Q, while Luocha's failsafe is essentially everyone else's Q. Characters such as Sting Yun with Dance Light Cone can change turn order. Seele's Resurgence can also allow her to take multiple turns or even Clara's Revenge playstyle. Thus, through either damage, Q manipulation or Resurgence you take extra turns, Luocha's heals can be fully utilized. Next, we are going to talk about Natasha's self-heal passive. With Pharmacology Expertise, after being attacked, if the current HP percentage is 30% or lower, it heals self for 1 time to restore HP by an amount equal to 15% of her max HP plus 400. This effect, however, can only be triggered 1 time per battle. Luocha's skill just outclasses Natasha's passive due to the free casts every 2 turns and it being unlimited in number. HP scaling versus attack scaling, and which is better. Another argument that has been made against Luocha is that he scales on attack. However, let's look closely at his scalings. His skill has the highest scaling at 56% of his attack. This does tend to, however, go into the possibility of overhealing because the plus 710 in itself is already so good. Next, his talent heals for 16.8% of Luocha's attack. Let us try to get into perspective of how much this is. At 1500 attack, this comes out to be 252 plus 213, which totals to 465 healing for the active on-field character. At 2500 attack, this healing totals to 633. His trace also scales just on 7% of his attack, so an extra 1000 attack comes to a meager 70 HP increase in healing, which totals to 268 with 2500 attack. Just increasing attack does tend to give diminishing returns. Since Luocha's scaling alone is already good enough, this allows him to build other stats such as defense, crit, or imaginary damage. Team compositions are another factor. In teams with the hunt characters such as Seele, Luocha has more potential not only because of her resurgence stats, but also because the hunt characters tend to be glass cannons. They deal a lot of damage but tend to be on the lower side of HP pools, so the HP healed passively tends to be worth more. This is the case because for a character with 2000 HP, getting 300 HP healed passively is 15% of the character's HP. However, for a case of a tankier character with 3000 HP, it is only 10%. Even for scenarios where characters scale on defense, Luocha is still a good option because the HP pool will tend to be lower. Preservation characters such as March 7 are built with defense percentage, so while the HP is technically lower, their survivability potential is quite high. That being said, does this mean that Luocha is better than Natasha? Yes and no. Depending on certain situations, one may perform better than the other. The point of this video was not to conclude the superiority of one over the other. I simply saw that people were giving Luocha the short end of the stick by saying that he is not worth pulling into if you already have Bailu and Natasha. Luocha is an amazing character and definitely worth investing into. His base scalings are good, he is skill point and energy efficient, and he also provides debuffing as well. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe for more content. See you in the next one.